This is Kenneth, and this is my living space with my shower tray. I have a bed, shower tray under the mat, and a couch, and a guitar, because you have to have a guitar as a van lifer. I have a dog, you all know Rust, you'll love Rust. I have a little kitchen, perfect. So one question that always pops up when people talk about van life is
Yeah, but where do you shit?
well, where I shit, I'm going to show you right now. Let's take a look. So here's my couch, untidy as normal. We take this bad boy out the way and this bad boy out the way, and then we reveal secret hatch. I pull this up, and here is my toilet, and inside the toilet there's a bag, some toilet roll, and some wet wipes. So I sit on my toilet, I shit in that bag, I wipe my ass with that toilet paper, and then I clean my ass with the wet wipes, and it's that simple. And when I've finished, everything goes in the bag gets tied up and thrown in a bin, kind of like you would do with your dog shit. Obviously, I didn't mention it, but I use cat litter. So after I've shat, I put the cat litter on the shat, and that stops it smelling. And it's really that simple. And then when I'm done, everything just gets put back as it was. My top secret, super spy James Bond toilet. And there we go. Everything is back as it was. So that's my secret James Bondish couch. And oh, here's my skylight, which I love because it's huge and I can actually climb out of it and get on the roof where the solar panel is. And that solar panel charges my battery, which keeps all my little gadgets charged, like my GoPro and whatever. And there it is. Anyway, this is my wall of happiness. There's lots of memories from my childhood. There's me and my dad hanging out in Cornwall, I think. Yeah, me with a radio for a head, me in an arcade, my grandparents who raised me, they're gone now, unfortunately, and I really, really miss them. That's me and my dad again. You might start to think that I'm a little bit obsessed, but no, my dad was awesome. That's me and my dad again, and my nan. Fantastic. That's me and Ratty. Ratty was my friend who used to hang out with on a weekend, and we had a lot of fun. And there's 9-year-old me with a monkey on my arm at Bognor Regis seafront. There's 28-year-old me outside a venue we've just done a gig at in Stuttgart, and that's my first band. There we go. And there's me and my dad with some football hooligans. And there's the reality of van life, the untidy reality, and rainy days. Yeah. So as I said, the solar panel charges the battery. I have various plugs at either end of the van so that wherever I'm sitting I can charge things if I need to. This is my solar controller, which also has some USB plugs to charge things. That's my heating controller on the left, and there's the lights. So here we go. Yes, nice. They don't actually flicker like that when you're sitting in the van. They do go very bright, and I can dim them as well for a bit of mood lighting. Oh yeah. So that's my van tour in a nutshell, and that's all I really want to talk about. If you've got any questions about it, throw them in the comments below. But now, on to the reasons why I chose van life. Oh, hi! Yeah, so today's the day I'm talking about the reasons why I chose van life. And it's pretty simple, really. There are lots of reasons. And so let's start at the beginning. As a kid, I used to go on holiday with my family. We used to go down to the coast, and we would quite often stay in caravans. And I loved staying in caravans, I really did. It was such a departure from normal life in a house. Not that there's anything wrong with living in houses, per se, but I did used to get a little bit freaked out as a kid. I think I watched too many horror movies when I was really, really young, and I was scared of the dark and scared of ghosts and vampires and werewolves. And obviously, you find a lot of those in houses, so understandable. But no, I love the caravans. I loved the smaller space and the simpler lifestyle. And I loved all the things that were around the caravan as well. So, you know, the swimming pool, the parks, the beach was nearby as well, the little towns where we would go and explore and see great things. It was fantastic. And and it really stuck with me. And it was a common thing throughout my childhood. We would go somewhere by the coast because we lived quite away inland. So it was a true escape, and I loved it. I relished it. The other reason that I love vans so much is that as a kid, maybe I was about 5 or 6 years old, I guess. Yeah, my dad used to have a works van, and he worked Monday to Saturday, and Thursday was his day off. And he would pick me up from school in the van on a Thursday, and this was the most exciting time of the week for me, because not only did I get to spend time with my dad, but we used to travel around in the van, and it was just awesome sitting higher up above most of the other vehicles on the road and being able to see across everything, and the noise and the, I don't know, just, it was great. It was this brilliant old red Ford Transit, and yeah, it was brilliant. It was a brilliant van. I just loved it. It was completely empty in the back because he used to carry TVs and hi-fi and stuff. He used to deliver them to people's houses. So obviously on the days he was picking me up, it was empty. So, and it was before the days when you had to wear seatbelts as well. So I would often just run around in the back while we were driving around like an absolute lunatic. But yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, loved it. So a couple of other reasons why I chose van life is because capitalism. Yeah, I really don't like the idea that my taxes are paid into a system that creates weapons which are then sold to other countries around the world, and those weapons are used to kill innocent people. I'm not a big fan of that at all. So yeah, so I kind of refuse to do that. So, you know, I don't pay bills as such, because also I just don't agree with energy companies, for instance, who charge ridiculous amounts of money for things that we absolutely need, like water companies, electricity, gas. All of that stuff is essential to human life, and yet in your home you're paying a ridiculous amount of money for those things, and it's unfair. You know, a few years ago, there's a company in the UK, an energy company. They do gas and electricity, and they made, I think it was 72 million in profit. I would have to check the figures, but it was a ridiculous amount of money. It was like, you know, tens of millions in profit. And that very same year, they told customers that they had to increase their prices because their running costs has gone up a little bit. So people were paying more money, even though this company was making a huge amount of profit that it did not need to make. As far as I'm concerned, energy companies should be absolutely non-profit. Simple as that. These are things that we need. You should not profit on things that we need. So yeah, that's another reason I don't like paying money into electric companies and gas companies, because they're thieves. I don't like the idea that, you know, for a lot of people, they go to work every day, they get paid at the end of the month, and they dread payday because they know that their money is going to get taken away from them before they've even got it. You know, it goes into their bank, and the direct debits send it out to the landlord or the mortgage company and the electric company, the gas company, the water, the internet, their mobile phone. They have to spend money on their shopping, obviously, because we have to eat. You know, fuel for the car, all of these things, it just eats your money. I don't have those issues, so I can live a really good, comfortable life on very little money, because I don't really have any overheads. So, you know, that is a blessing for me, and a very, very big reason why I chose van life as well. Basically because I'm an anarchist, and I hate this system that we live under, and I don't want to contribute to it any more than I have to. Oh, and another reason, before we forget, this is an important one. Happiness. You know, I used to think that happiness could be found in having job security, in having a nice home, progressing up the ladder, you know, the social ladder, getting a home, renting a home first, then saving up for a deposit to get a mortgage so I could buy a home, and then having my own little plot of land that was mine, and I was king of that castle, and I was getting there, man. I was there. I was on my way. You know, buy a nice car and a better mobile phone every year, and I was progressing up the ladder. That's not for me. That is not for me at all. These things do not bring happiness to me. Actually, from what I've seen, what I've observed, and what I've experienced, they actually just bring more and more stress. So I wanted to get away from that as well. For me, happiness lies in the simple things. Walking through the mountains with my dog, going swimming in the sea, you know, riding my bike along a beachfront or through country lanes, rollerblading. You know, I love rollerblading, you know that. These are simple things, you know, and yeah, I could do all of those things if I lived in a house somewhere, but I also need to explore, and I need to see things, and I need to go to different places, and I love the randomness of meeting new people. And these are all very, very positive experiences. These are all helping me to grow, and also helping me to overcome a lot of issues that I've had in here. A lot of, as I've talked about before, depression, anxiety, my fear of the world, my fear of society. These things are becoming less of an issue for me now, because I'm living a life true to my core beliefs. That's a very, very important thing. And living in the van allows me to do that. Living in the van allows me to have the freedom that I need, which I really, really do need, to be able to go and experience life in its purest form, finding enjoyment in the smallest things, and growing as a person because of that. These are really, really important things to me. So yeah, happiness is a big, big reason. And I am a lot happier living in a van than I ever was living in a house anywhere. So it's something to think about. So there we have some of the reasons that I chose van life, and if some of the reasons ring true with you, then well, maybe you should consider it, because it's a good life. Now, some of the things may have changed on my channel, and it's got a new fresh look and a fresh feel, but the one thing that hasn't changed is this, and you know how it goes. Be good, be happy, keep on rolling. Thanks for watching.